Hi guys, Fenris Models here, and today we're going to be taking a look at the P-38L-5-LO Lightning from HobbyBoss in 1/72nd scale. Now, this kit is from their easy assembly line. These models are geared towards the newer modeler, maybe somebody wanting a quick build. I've gotten a few of them before, and they're great little kits. This is their Hellcat version, from the same line. They're very nice. They make excellent, little palette cleanser builds, something that you can burn through in a laid-back fashion. You want to try something new out, that kind of a thing. They're cheap. I think I got this one for right about $15 USD, something like that. That does come with the turnaround about that there's not as many parts. I think this is like maybe 50 parts or so. Not very complex. The detailing isn't amazing. They don't come with pilots. Usually I model most of my planes in flight, but I modeled this one landing because they're the camera's not going to pick it up at the moment, but there's no pilot in there. There's not even a dash. So, yeah, it's pretty basic, but again, that's, it's gearing towards a very specific demographic for modelers. So yeah, this kit, as you can see, has a nice image of the kit. It's a photo of a completed one photoshopped onto the atmospheric background there, which is nice. It's better than some of the CGI renderings you see. I do miss the artwork of some of the older ones, but I understand why the industry moved away from that. This being a niche hobby, niche market, makes sense to move to the cheaper options. But yeah, so there's nothing terribly interesting. You got your general warnings. There is a nice little blurb about the Lightning there on the front. But yeah, so let's open it up and let's see what's on the inside. And I'm going to start with the instruction manual and then the decals, and we'll just work our way back up through. Alright, so as you can see, it's the same artwork from the front of the box. Tells you, these are the different symbols and what they represent throughout the book. And it's only, there's no multiple pages, it's just one folded over. And as you can see, there's three trees and 2 loose parts. So not a lot to it. Instructions, 2 steps. Although they say 2 steps, this looks like that's 3 steps to me. This looks like 1, 2, maybe 3 steps in and of itself there. But I get what they were going for with that. Got a little bit of glare on the screen. I do apologize. Let's see if we can get this a little bit better focus here for y'all. There we go. That's a little bit better. So yeah. And then we have on the back side our 2 decal schemes. We have the Itsy Bitsy 2 from the 343rd and the 431st Squadron as well, both from 1945. So very, not that Lightnings are super complex in their schemes anyway, but both are very simple. And yeah, so let's move on to the decals. Now, I'm not going to open this up yet because I don't know when I'm going to build it, and I don't want to lose the decals. I recently just lost an entire decal sheet for the Airfix 148 Meteor. That was supposed to be my first video, and it's not because I can't find the decal sheet. So I'm keeping this one in its wrapper for right now. But you can see pretty good quality decals there. It doesn't feel like it's too terribly thick. It's kind of hard to tell, but it, definitely not as thick as a Tamiya decal, which I've never had issues with, but I know other people do. So take that with that grain of salt. They're not as thick as Tamiya are. All right, now let's get into these. So there we go. So let's start with these two pieces here that are off the frame. This is our main fuselage and part of the nacelles. This is the bottom portion. And you can see what I mean about, you know, it's got some pretty good, pretty detailed panel lines on there, but they're not, they're very clean, but there's not like a ton of them, right? But definitely not bad. That's gonna be the bottom portion here, and so we got our, so let's kind of put it back in the box so we don't lose that either. And this camera does not like to focus. I apologize. Yeah, so there we go. On the top there, we got both the nacelles in place and already connected to the, you know, tail horizontal stabilizer. So yeah, as I said, you can see how for a lot of other kits, right, like there would be multiple pieces for the nacelles, multiple pieces for the wings, and here in two parts we already have, I mean, this is almost snapped together. In two parts we have most of the body done, right? So very simple build. And we got our two propellers, drop tanks, looks like landing gear struts. Actually do have a steering wheel in there, or stick. I don't know what you call specifically that type. That's more than the Hellcat had. And the front of both of the nacelle engines. And then here on this last, whoops, I did not. I do appreciate that they do this for the smaller parts as well. Because I've had kits in the past where, you know, brand new kit, everything's still in scrapper, and, you know, parts have fallen off into the bag themselves. So I appreciate them doing that. So you can see how tiny those bits are. But yeah, we got the two vertical stabilizer parts, seat, wheels. Yep, there's the dash. So you can see that there's no molded dials or anything like that, but very simple. And there's no foot pedals or nothing like that. But again, these are designed to be more simple, faster to put together, all that. And bottom part of the air intake for the nacelles. So yeah. And then finally, we have two little polycap rings. Which I'm assuming it's for the propellers to keep them kind of, you know, tight in place, but also movable. I'm not sure. I haven't looked at the instructions yet, but I think that's what those are for. And then we got, we got the nice clear plastic. I don't see any scratches or nothing, which is very good. Again, this one was also wrapped in that same foam, so that's nice. And we got our landing lights. So yeah. All in all, it looks like it'll be a nice kit, enjoyable little build, little quick build. I've yet to build a Lightning myself, so it'll be nice to get this one up with all my other World War II fighters. As I've said before, I tend to hang mine, but this one will be in landing position, so it's going to be parked right next to the Hellcat, I think. I'm hoping to start in on this in the next couple days, so you know, keep an eye out for the upcoming build video, and I'll walk y'all through the build process as I go through. So yeah, that's about it. That wraps it up for the HobbyBoss P-38L Lightning. So yeah, if you have any other kits you want reviewed, boxes looked at, builds, you know, all that kind of thing, you know, just let me know in the comments below. Don't forget to do the like, the subscribe. If you haven't, you know, click that bell, all that jazz. And that way too, you won't miss the build video when that drops here in hopefully a few days. We'll see how that goes. You can find me on Instagram under Fenris_models. There you'll be able to see all of my builds that I've done, including those that don't make it into videos, such as my 132nd Tamiya Corsair that I've built and my vintage Jurassic Park T-Rex kit. Both of those were great fun, and I wish I had gotten them up on YouTube for posterity. But so yeah, thank you all for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Stay safe and keep modeling.